Not live yet? Oh, we're live now. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Writer's Block podcast. We have long awaited, finally made it to an episode 2. That was a long week. How's everybody doing today?
I'm good. Can't complain. Can't complain.
Ah, shit. Sorry if you're hearing the feedback. I'm trying to get it.
Difficulties, as always.
Because YouTube always has a delay. That drives me nuts. But, so just in case you guys didn't hear anybody, because I was hearing two audios coming in through my headphones. How's everybody doing? What's up, Demigod? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Can't complain. Got some stuff coming in store. You know, been working on some streaming. Been getting back into Twitch and everything. Got a backlog January episodes coming out. You know, just to fill in time for the review. Because I really noticed on my page, I've been taking some time out. Really having a long time before another review comes out. So I've been working on that, and I'm getting ready for this backwards compatibility review, which I'll be doing.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm looking forward to that. What's up, Nick the Rager?
Oh, not a lot. Played way too many games this week, and I am just about ready to throw my Xbox console out the window with Shovel Knight on it because that game frustrates the fuck out of me.
Shovel Knight. And Abby, welcome back. We're happy to have you here again.
Okay.
Bright.
Yeah.
No, I said you're up, wide awake. Is what 1 o'clock in the morning there?
Yeah, it's just 10 to 1 here, but I actually went for a nap about 8 o'clock.
Nice. And everybody's. I'm sorry I didn't do this last time. I did do it later, but to those who's watching, if you want to follow these guys on Twitter, you want to follow Demi's YouTube channel, Nick's YouTube channel. Abby, I know you're working on a YouTube channel, but I do got your Twitter and a link below, so everybody's watching, they can follow all of you. All the channels are in the description below, with the exception of Abby's. Her link, her Twitter link is in the description below. Matter of fact, Nick, your link isn't in the description below because I need to find your YouTube. I've been looking for it, but if you can chat it to me, I will enter it right now as we're going live.
All right.
And so just want to say good evening, everyone, and thank you guys for tuning in to the second episode of the Writer's Block podcast. We got a few things to talk about. Demi has some topics we want to bring up. You see the topics in the main screen. But the first thing I want to us to touch on, which I'm sure we've all gotten to hear and see enough of the VR, such as Oculus Rift, with their, finally giving us a launch date and a price, and kind of want to know you guys' opinion. I mean, is this something we're ready for? Are we ready to jump into VR? Will this thing take off? Who wants to tackle that first?
I say yeah. I say that we're ready for VR. It looks like it's already getting intentional support, which is good. If the pricing is right, that's what really matters. If they want to get the standard pricing and break out in the mass markets, you got to have that correct pricing. I think that's the only thing that they really need to worry about. Everybody's loving VR right now. Word of mouth is traveling from PSX. Everybody has these things that they're saying good things about it. If they want this to sell correctly, they want this to take off, you have to get in the ballpark pricing.
And what would you say would be like ballpark?
To me personally, I'd say $300 to $400 would be the sweet point.
Okay, that makes sense. And Abby, I know you've been following the Oculus, or you just been following like the VR overall. I know, so it's been a big week for the add-on or the headset device. What do you think of the Oculus and what its potential and what does it mean for like PlayStation VR?
Well, see, for the Oculus, I actually, when they first kind of announced, like, this is what we're looking at, a couple of years ago now, I really didn't like the idea. I was just like, oh, it's not going to be something that's going to totally change handheld gaming and using a controller. And I kind of had, obviously, my partner works like in studying games programming. I've got a friend who's an ethical hacker, so they got to try all them out, as in like the testers and that, which was quite cool hearing about that. And I think the more I heard about it, the more I grew on the Oculus Rift. I do think it's very expensive, but I mean, it is a totally new concept to a lot of people. I've never personally tried it. When it comes to the PlayStation VR, I've not looked greatly into that just as of yet, but I will be doing that article soon on that. But yeah, I'm all up for the Oculus Rift now.
And what about you, Nick? What's your take on it?
Well, will the Oculus Rift be successful? I think it will be. Like $599 is a bit of a high price, but when you start talking about the PC specs that are required and everything else, most of these guys are running, $1,200 to $1,500 PCs and everything else. So dropping $600 on virtual reality won't be that big of a step. The biggest thing that I want to see happen is whether PS virtual reality is actually going to be successful, because we as a console gamer unit, like as Demi said, the sweet point is $300 to $400 is where I would peg it. No one is going to pay double what they paid for their console for virtual reality in the long run. So like if PlayStation VR lands in that sweet spot of about $300, $400, where it's affordable, it's good quality, I think it'll be successful. And I think we're ready for it. But the question is do they have the technology to make it affordable and practical at the same time? That's where I sit with it.
Yeah, the whole thing is that honestly, I've always been like could care less about like virtual reality, Oculus or the PlayStation VR. The thing is only because I'm just so focused on I want to play with my controller in front of the TV. But if this thing was to take off, the Oculus did come in at a high price, and the pre-orders are already sold out. Which I guess I'm not too surprised, because this is the new thing on the block, and the PlayStation VR, which everybody's trying to speculate what will be the price point. I've been saying I'm hoping, well, not hoping, I could care less actually, because I'm not going to buy it unless the thing is given to me. But for their sake, I would hope it's like a at most $200, $300 add-on for anything at like $400 and up. The price of a PlayStation 4 or $500 is just out of this world, especially when you put it up against Oculus, where you would have to think Oculus is probably going to be more an advanced like VR than what the PlayStation VR is, only because of the specs that it's required to run the thing. and so and then if you're new to VR, it can cost you anywhere between like, who knows, maybe $18 to $2,200, just as assuming that you don't already have a rig set up for it, and this is your first time you want to experience it. You got to get a PC, and you got to get the headset. I mean, I'm sure they're going to have like bundles where you can buy like a gaming PC and the headset together. I won't be surprised if they'll throw that around the time that it's releasing.
Well, see, my thing too is with like when you start talking like PlayStation virtual reality versus Oculus, I kind of think it's going to be a no-brainer that the Oculus is going to be, for the price tag, you're going to get more bang for your buck. But at the same time, I'm really hoping Sony is going to step up with the PSVR, because to be brutally honest, like they've made some attempts to branch out the PlayStation before. Like a perfect example would be the PlayStation Move. And we all know how much support that got, right? And to be honest, I kind of see virtual reality not being popular on the console market right now. Like if we're talking just 2016, I don't see it being huge in the console market, even if it launches in 2016. Like me personally, I don't see it launching console market till next year, at least.
Well, I just think, like, I know obviously there is a huge price tag, but I think that price tag actually kind of invites people to pay for it, because it's like a prestigious thing, like being able to say, oh, I've got the VR, and, you're knowing that it's not everyone can afford it. And I think it's that will cause it to sell, especially for the PlayStation one. I know Oculus has been, like, everyone's been kind of waiting for it, seen it build up from, like, the testers and all that. So I think that won't have a problem. And like I said, I've not looked a huge great deal into the PlayStation 1, but I actually think the price tag will do it its favour. So
Yeah. The thing is that it sounds all cool now. I've never tested one. I'm sure. I know Jabari say he tried out the PlayStation VR. He said it was awesome and whatnot. Um, the thing is about I think it's gonna come in. It's gonna be like okay, it's gonna do some decent numbers coming out. They're gonna have some interesting games. No really megaton AAA must buy a VR headset for it. But the thing is, it's gonna have a good initial launch. I think the both of them will. But I think neither one will have like that longevity to stick around.
hmm.
And that's
Yeah,
that's
I gotta agree with that because like the main thing that sells consoles is the games. Like for example, your exclusives will sell your console, will make you decide, well, I would like Uncharted, Bloodborne, whatever. I'll get a PlayStation. I like Sunset Overdrive, Rise, Halo. I'll get an Xbox. What is the big thing on virtual reality? Like, yeah, I've seen some really cool demos of the Oculus, like playing like Alien Isolation and like Alien Isolation on VR headset. My friend got to experience that because he got a demo of the Oculus, and it was absolutely terrifying to watch his reactions to it. But the thing is most of the games that are played on the Oculus, like if you look at the games that are native, I'm not talking like you can play a lot, like you can play Call of Duty, all sorts of games with it. There's a whole list of 90 games you can play with the Oculus. The only ones that are natives are generally indie titles and Valve games like Half-Life and everything else. So those are the games that are adapted for the Oculus that you'll get the most optimum experience at. I want us to know, is PlayStation or Microsoft going to make an effort to make their AAA titles a better experience on the Oculus? Because if not, I don't really see myself dropping the money on it. That's just me personally, though.
all right.
That's
My
just the big question that we got to find out. That is just the ballpark question that we all got to find out.
my bad. I had to just step away for a moment, but I think I missed out on something that Nick was talking about.
Yeah, just a brief overview on the fact that, if they want the Oculus or the PSVR to sell consistently, they got to have games people want, and they've got to be designed to work with the VR. Like, I don't want a game that's ported. I want a game where the Oculus enhances my gameplay. Like, I don't want it to just be like this cool virtual reality. I want to like really feel the game. Like if I'm playing like say Halo, the next Halo game was designed with the Oculus in mind, or the whatever virtual reality headset you can connect with it. I would want it to be a full experience. I wouldn't want it to be just, oh, look, it's virtual reality, woo. I want it to feel like the game was meant to be like that, Like if it doesn't get AAA support, I'm not going to spend $600 to play a bunch of indie games in virtual reality. But that's just me, and that's just my opinion on it, really.
Gotcha. Now the thing about I was just thinking about this is that do you guys think like the type of games that VR will have will be like a bunch of like tech demos or arcade type games, or will they get like immersive games that that you would spend hours on? You remember you're wearing a head device. Like, will most of the games be on like a 4-hour experience at most, or like what games will like what do you think they would put out to like to bring in these devices?
See,
There,
I think for a good while, sorry, Dan.
it's all good. It's all good.
That it will be like, I mean, the thing that really got me into the Oculus Rift was that Dinosaur Island by Crytek. I really liked the look of that. I just thought that looked really immersive. But I totally get what Nick's saying, as in I couldn't imagine playing. I'm not a big COD player, but I couldn't imagine playing COD on a game like that or how that would feel and work. So I agree with him. I think it's going to be a long, long while before any of them games get any support at all, really. But I actually just can't imagine how you would get that to work. I've always been so used to playing a controller and playing it that way, so
I
Yes.
say for more hardcore shooter fans, this wouldn't be a thing for them to reach out on.
Oh yeah.
But for more people that want more single player type stuff and just cool actiony type games like that, this is something that will practically sell for them. Now we might have a long way to go before we get to any big stuff, but for now we got some small stuff that may not show what the VR can do. You know, Ace Combat, Final Fantasy 14 will be VR supported, War Thunder, stuff like that. But for now, I don't know what will make this push for people to be like, wow, I really need this in my life.
Yeah. And aren't isn't there a push to get like that No Man's Sky is going to be like the lead game for the PlayStation's VR, or is that just rumor?
I wouldn't know. I had to ask Barry on that one.
Okay. Oh, yeah,
If they
we'll
are,
probably
I would
find
go
out in the
for them.
comments. So,
Um,
go ahead.
the one thing is too though with totally derailed my train of thought here. With yeah, never mind. Take it away. Completely lost my train of thought on that
Well,
one.
maybe this will maybe this will like bring it back up before we close out on like the VR talk. Is any of you guys in here getting or planning to get VR like day one, or you guys are gonna wait? Like,
I don't have the money for that.
If I can get the money for it, I'll try it out. I will test it, see if I like it.
I mean, you
I'm
say if you
ha-
get the money for it. If you get
If
the
I
money
get the
for it, you just don't
if
try
I-
it out.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying. If I can get the money for it, and if it's in that ballpark range, I'll get it. I will try it out. I will test it. I'm halfway on the fence about it. This could be a big thing, or this could be a flop. But I will try it out. If it does go bad, I'll be like, well, I was one of those people that tested it out.
Yeah, you know what? You said something interesting because that's how I feel. Exactly how I feel about it. It's either going to be big or it's going to flop. There's going to be no in between. It's either going to flop hard or it's going to be like it's going to take off. And I'm kind of leaning on the side that it's going to flop, but that's just me. I'm not like that's just me. I'm just thinking it's going to flop. But off of VR, pretty sure we'll get more information. Still waiting on PlayStation's VR. We're waiting on a price of that, waiting for a potential release of that. I personally think we'll get that at E3. I don't think the PlayStation VR will be released before E3. That's just my opinion.
Okay, we'll just wait and see about that one.
Oh, why you say that?
I just I can't get into that right now. I'll talk about that after the podcast.
Okay. All right. So last week we talked about the Scalebound delay, correct? And the whole thing about Recore. So with that news, some news a little fell under the radar that Gears of War 4 will be pushed up to
Fall.
Oops, lost my headset. My bad. Yeah, knocked out my headset. All right, no, Gears of War 4 will be pushed up. Like, so a game being pushed up versus pushed back. So that doesn't happen too often. But Gears of War 4, instead of originally intended for holiday 2015, is now moving to fall 2015. Now, people may ask, what's the difference between holiday and fall? Not much, but in this case, you're looking at a game that was probably slated for November now being moved to like late September, early October. That's how I see it. I don't know what this means for other games, because right now, I think on the Xbox side, after Quantum Break, if they unless they don't announce anything soon, there's probably going to be a sizable gap between like the next big release for the Xbox that's like exclusive release. And so, anybody have any thoughts on that? On how they feel? Is this good news, or you have a little bit any more information on like the whole push up and what does it mean or what it could mean?
It means that development is damn near finished. I'm glad. I am glad. If they meet this and they get this out to the fans, great. I'm with it.
You know what? That's crazy because it's January. The game was slated maybe you thinking like November, and they pushing the game up this early. Remember, it was playable at E3, not playable to the public, but they had a live running demo that they were playing. Maybe it was an alpha stage or something like that. But that is that is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of strange that in January they announced that, hey, we're gonna be done with it earlier, and we know the beta is just around the corner, which is sometime in the spring. That will probably be between now, somewhere between now and Quantum Break, and Killer Instinct. So
Or it could mean another thing. It could mean that they are rushing and trying to meet that holiday deadline. Could be that. See, it's a good thing and a bad thing about this. I want this to be stellar, fantastic, and all that, but if they are rushing this and trying to get this out to the people and it be glitchy and buggy and everything, I'm not too with that.
yeah, that's true. But the thing is, here's what I'm wondering. And this falls into something that we want to talk about either later, or we could just push it up to the topic now. But the thing is, with exclusive now, we know with the PlayStation 4, a lot of their games typically came out throughout the first half of the year, going into spring and even summer. They would give you their games, and then they're generally kind of running on an empty tank in November, but which is okay because their console is full of like the big AAA multiplats that are there, and this is when marketing deals kind of work in your favor. So the thing is that, do you think Microsoft is looking at, okay, maybe we shouldn't like dump all our games in the months of October and November for the sake of so they can survive on their own, so they don't have to always compete against Call of Duty and I don't know, whatever game is Assassin's Creed or whatever game that typically comes out, or that big RPG that one of the big developers that make games every 4 to 6 years drop, like that just happened to drop next to an Xbox exclusive or something like that. So the thing is like I got a feeling they're looking at it like what happened last year, and then what even happened with Sunset Overdrive the year before that. That it was a great game, and it wasn't very successful sales wise because they launched next to all these big games that were coming out around the same time. Do you think this is where they headed, and maybe in the future, 2017 and on, we might get more games in the first half or the summer or even like the Q3 before the holiday rush?
Well, let's face it, Microsoft needs to learn timing. Timing has not been their strong point. Releasing Tomb Raider the same day as Fallout 4 was basically shooting themselves in the foot. Tomb Raider was a successful game, but if they had not released it on the same day as Fallout 4, they definitely could have done better on the initial shot off. And like Halo 5 competing with Call of Duty and Battlefront within, I think it was like a 2-week block, that was killer. Dude, like, I understand they want to release it for the holidays, but like they could have got away with Halo in summer, or like, I know it probably wasn't done in the summer, but you know what I mean? Like, they need to work on their time periods for their launches, because instead of trying to compete with these games, set your games aside as a whole different experience. I don't know about anyone else, but I got kind of weighed down, I would say, financially, because all the games launched within a month block between like the end of October to like the first week of December. I probably dropped like almost $500-600 on games because there's so many of them. Yet in spring and summer, I was bargain bin hunting for games that I missed from last year because there was pretty much nothing.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that because like this year, like yeah, I remember I added up all the games. I didn't do no math this year, but I remember fall of 2014. I did the math and I ended up spending I think $540 just in games alone. Like, and it was in a 5-week time span. That's ridiculous.
That is a
See,
lot of
for
money.
me, it's not even just like, don't get me wrong, I was hit with like a really large expenditure, but I went back to university at the mid of September and October, so that's like a lot of workload for me, and Halo came out, Fallout came out, so I slept so badly with my uni work just because there was so many games at that point. So for me, it would be really good if they kind of spaced them out a bit, just so I wasn't constantly worrying. through summer, I had like 4 months of absolutely nothing, which would have been perfect for games, and had nothing to play. So
Yeah, that is crazy. What I think, I don't really. I guess what Sony and Microsoft need to do for their exclusives, so they can have the appropriate amount of time to shine. I don't know how many. If you have like, let's say 5 or 6 exclusives planned for a year, I would put them out one each like quarter, or at least or two, and like maybe 2 in the fall, but put out something where there's like a big game that's out every quarter, so there's like no dry spell. And so you can have a game. All right, you don't need to drop a game in January. Hell, you don't even need to drop a game in February after all the damage that's done in November and December. So you can come on, start your kicking the games off in March, drop an exclusive there, and drop one somewhere uh, in June, drop one in like September, and then drop at least one. You can get away with at least putting out one in November. But I mean, I think spread it out, and then they might end up having better success. What people would never realize is I was looking at the sales. When you look at the NPDs, right? The NPDs that released in November, right? The top 10 games. Okay, maybe it was like 3 of them or 4 of them had just came out, but the rest of the list were like Madden and NBA 2K and stuff, games that came out months and months ago. So, I mean, there's games that can return and get a boost in sales during the holiday season when they're already on the market. And if they can get out that it has to come out before Christmas so it could sell, that's not true. Sure, most of the shopping will be done, but the game can still have this potential. Like Gears of War sells doubled that month. Forza sells doubled that month. Like all their games the games wasn't at 1 million before the holiday season. They got to 1 million during that holiday rush for the Xbox exclusives. And with PlayStation games, their games sell pretty good because when they come out and there's like next to nothing out. So if you have a PlayStation and the releases are calming down and you got a big game to look forward to, I think with Uncharted would be the next one after no, Street Fighter's the next one, and then you have Uncharted coming after that. So, but I don't think a Street Fighter game like that would have that thing that when it comes out is that, oh, I'm going to play this all day and night. It's going to be short-lived, so that you're still going to be waiting for Uncharted when that drops.
I disagree with that statement. It's a lot of people.
I know you would, but go ahead.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people waiting for Street Fighter 5. You know, that's going to be a game where people are going to sit up and try to rank up and learn these characters. But my thing is about this whole holiday thing, I need Microsoft to learn that let's not wait until holidays to bomb everything. This is where the games start getting cluttered up. This is where people start ignoring things. You can't be doing this every year. The more Microsoft spaces out their games and keep them consistently lined up, that would be fine. But I've noticed we always start off fall to holidays with these big releases. It was Forza, then it was Halo 5, then it was Tomb Raider, then this and this and this. We can't be doing that. We have to. If Microsoft releases their games in a nice timely period with people eating, fine, I'm with that. But we have to not just focus holiday season, because the less interest that we have between Q1, Q2, and then we wait in Q3, Q4, it'll hurt the sales.
Okay, yeah, I can see what you mean there. I see what you mean there. And what about you, Abby?
as in like for the
As far as
sorry.
no, just the game releases, the exclusives, like how Microsoft has their trend to put out games towards the end of the year with everything else. Sony pretty much has their game kind of spread out at least for the first half of the year, and then it's just like, what would you should suggest if you were in their shoes and you're like, I need to make a change for some of my games to sell well? How would you put out these games, these exclusives? How would you market them? How would you promote them? When would you put these games out?
Well, yeah, I think obviously the holiday season's when you're going to make that big bit of money for, obviously coming up to Christmas and that. I definitely think something through summer, because I mean, like, there's a lot of younger people that come off of school, and I think that's when a lot of them start to buy games and pick up their own games themselves. So I think marketing something then would be a good thing, and I think there's a lot of companies that miss that point, as well as, I don't know, maybe something in March and April as well, coming into, well, what's Easter and that. I do just think like a big space between them would be quite good at, you know, allows you to put time in it, try other games as well as in indie titles and that before the next exclusive came, rather than just bombarding you with exclusives. So
Yeah. And what about you, Undead?
Oh, I gotta say, I gotta give a lot of credit to Sony this year for spacing. They seem to really get this. They've basically got an exclusive dropping every month, and I'm just saying an exclusive because there's tons of games I don't know personally because I don't own a PS4 yet, so I don't keep up with all the games. I keep up with like your core games, but like you got like Uncharted just around the corner, you got Street Fighter around the corner. Like they've got a lot of great games, and they've done a really good job this generation with the exclusives. Like if I had the money, I would have a PS4 because honestly, there's tons of games I want to play on the PS4. But they seem to understand spacing this gen, and I agree with the fact Microsoft's got to stop dumping all their exclusives in the holidays because, to be brutally honest, like I got Halo 5 for Christmas, which was great. I don't have Tomb Raider yet, which is absolutely horrible because I decided to go with Fallout 4 and Black Ops 3.
You idiot! Oh my god, I should have deleted you off my friends list for that. Oh my god. Go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
Oh God. But seriously, I've been sitting on Tomb Raider. Like, I just finished the like definitive edition on my Xbox One. I'll get the next one. Like, I'll get the game, but like they dropped it all too much in one go for me. So, and like when it came down to it, it was like Fallout 4 or Tomb Raider. It was like, well, I'm waiting years for Fallout 4. Go ahead, Demi. Sorry about that, man.
That's what I'm saying. I don't mean to interrupt you, but that's what I'm saying. Stop the clumping. Stop it. Just don't focus just on holiday season. I know y'all want to get the sales. Just don't focus purely on that. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, like look at like if you're looking at the like launch list here of like titles coming out, like if you look at I'm trying to think where it falls. No Man's Sky is supposed to land in June. That's a good time frame because there's not a whole lot of games going on in June. Like it's a good place to put. Like Uncharted, is it a holiday title? That would have sold insanely well in the holidays, but they're putting it in April. They've got spacing. And I think that having Quantum Break in April is a good call if it doesn't get delayed. That's the key thing.
I got money on that again, so I can't afford for it to get delayed. So, but you know what, that bothers me because the summer there's a lot of games that I feel like this game would have been good if it came out in the summertime. I feel like the summertime is this missed opportunity for a lot of developers. Think about it, people who you got The Witcher came out in May, like that was like, there's nothing that came out to really compete with it. You had what else that was I think Shadow of Mordor came out during the opportune time when it came out in 2014. You have I feel like a game like Sunset Overdrive should have been a summer game. You don't have a name like Sunset Overdrive. Like that should have been a summer game. It should have been it should have been a summer game. If it was a summer game, it would have been like literally the #1 game for the month it came out. It would because it would have been nothing else. Nobody wants to drop games in the summer. So that's why I'm happy about like Crackdown's like showing his face like in a month where it doesn't have to look at a Call of Duty or like a game like that. Like it's so that's what to try to maximize your opportunities and stuff like that. So it's like I don't understand why June is so ignored. Like I don't want my summer to be filled with just freaking $15, $20 indies coming up in June and July. I was like, no. Like if I was like 16, 17, even 14, my console and I got no games coming out during my summer break and all the games come out when I go back to school. Man, that's just I don't know, just a missed opportunity.
See, that's what I was saying about the clumping.
Yeah.
When Sunset Overdrive came out, like a week or two after that, then it was Master Chief Collection. Everybody I know was like, I'm not gonna play Sunset Overdrive once this comes out. I'm like, that's what I mean. It needs to be more spread out for people to get opportune chances to play this. The one thing I said about Tomb Raider releasing against Fallout 4 was that why didn't you go in December? There was nothing coming out in December for you to go against. Just Cause 3 and Rainbow Six, Tomb Raider would have shined over all of that.
Yeah, it would have.
For sure.
It would have easily.
For sure.
Yeah, because the games, yeah, just, oh my god. You know what? Here's the thing where I feel like I think a game that would have been successful had it kept its original date was Rainbow Six.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was slated for before like all the, it was slated mid-October, right? With Assassin's Creed. Like I think they were supposed to come out the same week or at least a week apart or something like that. I feel like had it came that it would have gotten those people, those opportune gamers, like, you know, I'm interested in it, I'm gonna get it. You know what I mean? Because there's still some time before the big games came out. By the time Rainbow Six came out, it was a complete afterthought. Nobody was checking for it. Nobody was not checking for Rainbow Six when Call of Duty had just came out, when Halo had already been out, Star Wars Battlefront's getting headlines, and Fallout, no matter how overrated it is, was still in headlines. It's like
Whoa.
it was just a complete afterthought when it came out.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
And then we have so go ahead, Abby. I'm sorry.
No, it was just one point. Like, I know, obviously, we're all kind of, like, saying, oh, clumping is bad. And I agree to an extent, but just on a more, like, why it maybe works to an extent is, I mean, I'm really big on, like, indie games or, like, double A title kind of things. And a lot of them seem to be at the start of the year. So I think, I don't know, in my head I'm just like, maybe they do it strategically a wee bit so as to try and encourage people to get more in indies. I mean, I know a lot of people that are just like, oh, I won't touch them. Or I mentioned Ori last time, was like, no idea what that is. Limbo, no idea what that is. Child of Light, no idea what that is. And I was just like, these are a lot of games that people miss that, you know, maybe having that kind of clumping is what they're trying to achieve and not doing so great. So just a wee point there.
Yeah. Definitely. But speaking of games, because we can go either subject here. So, but I do want to remain on. We'll talk about February in a minute, but I do want to talk about the exclusives so far. This is like pre E3, obviously, pre Gamescom, obviously, but the exclusive for 2016 between both consoles, between the Xbox One having its exclusives, PlayStation 4 having its exclusive, are they lackluster this year?
No.
No?
I
don't think
prefer
so.
this year.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I prefer this year over last year, to be honest.
I mean, Demi, you said no?
No.
All right, no, all right. Explain.
They are starting off. Oh man, they are starting off great. I prefer this year's starting lineup to last year's. Like Abby said, this is looking way better than what we began with.
But what makes this year, at least so far, what we know of better, that of the games that we know that are coming out, what makes it that much better?
Because we're gonna have one good time. No, but seriously, we have so many games already coming out. It's like we're getting another holiday season all over again. Because it's week, game. Street Fighter 5 in February. No, I'm gonna start in January. We got Resident Evil 0.
No, exclusive,
Oh,
not
exclusives?
overall games.
Oh, exclusives? Oh,
Just
exclusive?
just
Oh,
exclusive.
okay.
Overall games out, it makes it better than last year. I'll give you that. But I'm talking about exclusives, like having the PS4, Xbox, their games like this year, what they got to offer this year.
Oh, okay. Well, starting in February, we got Street Fighter 5. That's already gonna be something huge. That's gonna be many nights while I'm staying up, and then we got Firewatch. Let me see, because I got the list open right here. Then we got Yeah, it's a couple games that's coming out that I see that's just becoming like time consumers already. Then we got the remake of Heavy Rain coming in March, which I never got to play, so I'll be putting some time into that. And then we got April with Quantum Break, and that's one game. If you know me, if you've heard me talk about this in other podcasts, I've been waiting exclusively for Quantum Break already. I've been talking about Remedy, how they're the best developers ever made, and how I love Alan Wake and Max Payne 2. So I'm keen. I am set for this. This is what I've been waiting for. But overall, to answer your question, I say that this is already starting off with some heavy hitters, and we got some smaller titles that's already being like popped in, marketed well to other uh gamers as well that don't really look at these titles, and people are getting sold on these exclusives already. I say that they aren't as being marketed, pushed biggerly like that, but you know what's coming. You know what's going to be in your hands soon enough already.
See,
Okay.
I can I sorry. No, it's just obviously you're asking like what makes this year's exclusive better. And see for me, straight away the thought is that there's loads of like new IPs coming, so as in like just games that have never been thought of. I mean, I've obviously got to start with WeCourt if that comes this year. Just because I've not seen any game that's been like that. It's got new concepts in it. Like I loved Sunset Overdrive because of that, the fact that it was just something totally different, and I'm just hoping Recourse the same. I mean, there's games like sorry, back to Xbox, I know, but Sea of Thieves as well, different good kind of concept, as well as that COBOL. I just think there is loads of different kind of games coming out that's like not just your strict multiplayer. This is your strict RPG. They've just got different storylines, which is good to see this year. So.
Okay, okay. I like where you put that. Nick, what's your thought on this? Because you kind of seem kind of quiet when I asked that question.
Well, I was actually just reading through the chat. I gotta agree with Jabari here. Like Quantum Break, Uncharted 4, Ratchet and Clank in 1 month. This is gonna be huge. Like you're talking exclusives. That's huge. And I'm a guilty party of this. I usually don't buy my exclusives at launch. Usually buy them after a couple of months in. Not usually a huge exclusive fan, but I'm not gonna lie, Quantum Break definitely has me interested. Like it's a day one buy for me. Like I don't buy day one games. I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination, but Quantum Break will be getting my $10 a week put towards it till it comes out because it's just gonna be a fantastic game. And what I like about this year over last year is you're seeing new IPs emerging instead of yeah, I don't know. I just like seeing new. Like Halo 5 is fire. Like I love Halo and everything else. But when I see a new IP and I see like Sony like stepping out with like they had Until Dawn last year and like they've got No Man's Sky, when they're taking steps to make new IPs, that's awesome for me because don't get me wrong, I love sequels to my favorite games. But when you start seeing them put new titles in, it's going to be fire this year. Like there's so much to look forward to this year, exclusives, non-exclusives. This year is definitely going to be better than last year.
Okay, well, all right. Here's a few things. Here's a few things, and we'll get into like some games that are coming out earlier this year soon. But the reason why I asked this question is because when I was looking at the names of the games, I was just like, okay, for some reason I'm not that excited. Maybe when I see these games again running at E3 and Gamescom, I might have a completely different take on it. But all right, so you have Street Fighter. Okay, to some fans of the series, to some fans of fighter games, all right, that's big. To the general public, is it that big? Is it this game that I've been waiting a whole year, a whole 2 years for? In my opinion, no, but I'm pretty sure there's other people who have. But so I look at Street Fighter, I'm like, okay, it's a so-so. I either will get it or I will not. I haven't pre-ordered it, and I'm probably not. So you have, all right, we put that out of the way. Firewatch, yes, that's on my radar. If it was available to pre-order, I would pre-order it now, but this is not a game that you're gonna find in your GameStop or your Best Buy or anything like that. It's a glorified like indie title. Looks good. I'm not saying it's overrated. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna get a ton of great reviews. I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. Okay. And then uh you have Quantum Break in April. You have Uncharted in April. Now Uncharted, okay, you can argue that's probably going to be one of probably the next to Gears of War, like the two biggest exclusives to drop in 2016. I don't think there's any other exclusive that's coming out this year that's going to get high on that plateau between Gears and Uncharted, only because there's four of each. There's four Uncharted's now, and there's four Gears of War games. So obviously you got those, but a Quantum Break, yeah, it's good. It's a new IP, so we're kind of just really just waiting to play it to see what it's going to be about. Of course, we all got our faith and trust in Remedy. They don't really make bad games, at least not to my knowledge or not to my history with them. But okay, you say okay, a Quantum Break's there. Okay, that's a plus. You got Ratchet and Clank, which is a $40 remaster. Not remaster, but remake. You got Ratchet and Clank. You're like, okay, it's $40. I don't know if it's just a game remaster based on a first game, or is it just a remaster, just kind of more of the movie title. I'm surprised it's only $40, but I will take it. I will take a bargain if I can get it. And then after that, I don't know what else is out. I mean, Last Guardian, we don't know if it's coming out. No Man's Sky, we don't even know how much it's going to cost. We heard rumors of $70, $60, and we don't even know what the game's about. We have Crackdown, which we still need to hear more of, and we know the multiplayer is coming out first before the actual single player. You got Horizon, which we're not sure if it's going to make 2016. I personally don't think it is. If it is, then the bets are off. I will be extremely happy for exclusives in 2016. Scalebound was pushed out of 2016, so that was a hit on the Xbox side. Recore was pushed to holiday. Sea of Thieves, we don't know. We know it's getting pushed, and hopefully it makes it to 2016. Other than that, I mean, Halo Wars 2, okay, but it's not for everybody. Yeah. Gears of War 4 is probably like the sure shot thing. It's like going to be the Halo of this year for Xbox, at least, because it's going to be that game that's going to do its job with reviews and sales. It's going to do its job. And as far as but between them, I'm just not really, I guess I'm not totally satisfied, and maybe that's because I haven't seen enough of what's other than the name, because all we seen was names and like last year's trailers, and that can definitely change between E3 and Gamescom when we actually see most of this stuff come and hit us, and like, oh, this is what we're going to be experiencing soon. On the exclusive side, I wasn't very satisfied.
We got a lot of low key exclusives coming out for the PS4 too. A lot of Japanese titles that people sleep on.
That's true, but there's always a lot of low key Japanese titles coming out for the PlayStation 4. It's been like that like last year and the year before that. But the thing is like, I don't think it has an impact on how good the games are, because they go under the radar. Now that's to our fault for not checking for them. If you're checking for them and you personally enjoy them, like, oh my god, I had a great experience with this game, cool. But the thing is, I just still don't feel like it's enough unless we get like something. If they can guarantee that freaking Horizon is coming out this year, and even The Last Guardian coming out this year, and I'm not interested in The Last Guardian, but if it has a release date for this year, I was like, okay, hands off deck, It's a great year for exclusives. But the thing is, I feel like what makes 2016 great, I think, is going to be the third-party games that come with them. And I feel like whoever has the most marketing deals with some of these big third-party games, that's where who's going to really, I guess, win, or who will have like probably the better year. Like Sony had the marketing deals with. Sony had no games for the second half of the year, or if like the least that. November timeframe, and it was perfectly fine because they had Star Wars on their side, they had Destiny again, they had Call of Duty, so they didn't need it. They didn't need it, and I feel like with this year's exclusive, not being that great, because come on, Uncharted comes out in April, and then after Uncharted, really, what's going on afterwards? After Uncharted and Ratchet and Clank, after you get to the spring summer, what's going on after you've beat those games?
That's when the low-key Japanese titles begin to really shine and prosper.
But will they?
Yeah, depending on the word of mouth and how well it travels.
I don't know. I suppose I still got Dragon Quest Heroes that I still have not put in my PlayStation. I need to try that out. It's been sitting here, but I haven't touched it yet. But yeah, I don't know. But like I said, hopefully we see more of these games, and my mind will change. Like I said, you guys seem to be excited for 2016. I'm excited for 2016, but I feel like I think it's going to be the third-party games that are there that I feel like are probably going to have the best time with. Of course, I'm looking forward to Gears of War. Of course, I'm looking forward to Quantum Break. And I guess the other games that we know that are coming out in 2016, I feel like I just got to see more of them. But speaking of the games that are coming out, like close enough, the games we know we don't have to wait for. February is a big month for games. I mean, this is like, wow, I kind of want to buy at least 4 games in the category. So we got the top games of February. Who wants to tell me there's a ton of games coming out in February? Demi, I know you're gonna be reviewing at least 3 of these mugs. What's your top 3 or something that's coming out in February?
Top 3. Gotta go with Firewatch because I've been stoked since I've seen that at the E3 reveal.
Yep.
You already know Street Fighter V is right in my camp.
Yeah. You mentioned Street Fighter V a couple times, so I know you're gonna put that on your list. What else we got?
And then I'm halfway on the mark. It's like 3 different games I have my eyes on. So honestly, Mighty Number 9 is one I'm really, really looking at.
The game that delayed Recore.
And now I got like 2 runners up. Like I got Far Cry Primal, which is a lot of people seem to hate this game for some reason. Reason this game has a lot of hate behind it. I don't know why.
Because it's Ubisoft and it's Far Cry.
And then Unravel. Unravel looks dope. That is one game I'm very excited for.
Yeah, man. All right, I'm going to tell you the games I'm looking for. Firewatch is definitely the number 1 game that's on my list for February. It looks interesting. I've been watching the gameplay. 17 minutes of gameplay. I watched 2 of them, different gameplay scenes, and I was just like, yo, when I get this, I'm going to be on it all day. So I heard the game is going to be maybe they said 5-6 hours. I don't care. I'll be up at like 7. Hopefully I have off that Tuesday that it comes out, and I'll be on it from like 7 a.m. to maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm going to just play it. Hopefully it's that good because that's what I want to do to this game. Unravel has always been on my radar, and I'm looking forward to that. That's a beautiful game. And this one, when indies were coming to mind, this is the stuff I want. How I want indie games to really look. Even though you wouldn't consider it indie because it got an EA's publishing the game, but you kind of, this is what I want the developers to do, is just like kind of just make something that can blow my mind other than these 8-bit like freaking escapist ripoff and them Pokemon wannabe type games. So I would say Dying Light: The Following is another one, but I'm not going to harp on that because I still haven't really played a lot of the original game, so that's why I got to dive into the rest of this month. Plants vs. Zombies: Garden Warfare 2. Now, I couldn't wait for another Plants vs. Zombie game since the first game. I enjoyed that. It was surprisingly one of my favorite games, I think, in 2014. And the only thing that got me kind of on the edge is that it's like a game that when it first came out was like a $40 game. It's now like $60, and I'm kind of want to know what's the jump. what are you gonna do to make this like a AAA game now? So that's the games that I'm really kind of looking forward to in the month of February. What about you, Undead?
Well, originally I thought Hitman was coming in February, but apparently from what I'm reading, it's coming in March now. So that takes a game off my list. I'm a huge stealth nut, so Hitman would have been top my list there. Not gonna lie, Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2 is gonna be a blast because I love that game. I love the original. That was a blast. Way too easy though. Mighty Number 9, I'm really kind of excited for. And if you're talking third, I'm kind of stuck between like XCOM 2 and Unravel for that middle ground there, and also the fact that the Assassin's Creed Chronicles trilogy pack comes out in February, which is like those side scrollers they've had. I picked up the first one for $5 on a sale a couple of months ago, I think. I just started playing it, and it's a lot of fun, and it keeps kind of the Assassin's Creed vibe, and I'm a fan of the history and everything else. I just found the games got boring after a while, and with the side scroller, with the stealth and everything else, it was just a neat twist on it. So I'm really excited for the trilogy pack because I'll just pick that up to get the other two. And
Nice.
yeah, those are the games I'm looking forward to. I'm pretty low key in February. I'm still working on my Christmas backlog. I've got so many games to play that I'm not really worried about picking up too much time consuming. Far Cry Primal deserves a mention, but I haven't even played Far Cry 4, so
I'm playing it now, and it's it's like Far Cry 3. That's in my opinion. But what about you, Abby? I'm sorry. You have more to say?
no, I'm good. I'm good now.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I just realized I had that on mute there. I was trying. Yeah, so I was excited for Far Cry Primal, but I actually read somewhere that it's not being released till March now. I don't know if I have that right, but
I think the PC version comes out in March, and the console version is supposed to come out in like
March,
late
the
February.
console.
all right, I don't know. I just I seen it earlier and was just like I hadn't really looked into it because I didn't have the time. But if that comes out in February, that's definitely just because I'm a paleontology student, so dinosaurs are kind of my thing. So I mean that's like on my top list, but then Unravel, like I'm obviously Xbox, and I seen that it was like I seen it for PlayStation first, and was just like, oh no, please say it comes out for PC. And then when I seen it was for PC as well, I was like, well that's fine. I mean, like I'm saying, that is like literally my kind of game. I love that style of game. I just think it's got a really cute wee story to it. The whole thing with the character Yarny feels like when I was reading through what the developers were saying, they really want people to kind of get that attachment to the character, and I just feel like a lot of games lack that nowadays. You don't really feel, I don't know, you don't get the emotions from it, whereas Ori, for me, really did that. I cried at that game, so that and Cobalt, now everybody just passes it up because it is an Xbox exclusive, but that comes out this month, so it's like the second, this month, February, it's like the 2nd of February, and I'm actually looking forward to that, so they're probably my three then.
Okay. All right. So, but we all can agree February has some gems in there to get us kicking off in 2016. To those who's watching, we're looking at the chats. What's your games of that's coming out in February that you're looking forward to? Like I said, Firewatch is probably on the top of my list. Far Cry, like I said, I haven't been a big fan of the game, but it's cool to see the different a Far Cry game with no guns. that is interesting. You know, it is pretty interesting. So I'm definitely looking to try it. This I won't say it will be a day one game for me because it probably won't be. But those smaller times, you got games like Firewatch is going to be what, maybe $15, $20, which is going to be cool because that might be the best $15, $20 I spend. Unravel is what, $20, but if you are playing on the Xbox and you have EA access, it's a $17 game and you get to try it first a week early. So if you have EA access, I always recommend it to people. Get it. It doesn't hurt. It's $5 a month or freaking $30 for the year. So you got nothing to lose. It doesn't hurt. What's the other we have? Yeah, Mighty Number 9. Like I said, it's probably going to be one of those games that I didn't intend on buying, and then I'm gonna either go to the Xbox store and see somebody streaming it, or someone seeing some gameplay and it's gonna make me want to buy it, and I'm gonna buy it. That's what happens with a lot of the games that I'm not looking for. That happens. I'll see somebody streaming it, and in the Xbox store. You know how they like preview it when you're in the store section. I'm like, oh, that looks interesting, and then I buy it. And then you have I'm pretty sure there's some Naruto fans. Are you a fan of Naruto? Demi, I don't know why I take you for one.
I'm an anime fan. I haven't been a fan of Naruto.
Really? Okay.
It just hasn't been in my field. But I tried out the demo and I actually liked it, so I might actually pick this up.
Wait, how'd you play the demo?
It's a Naruto demo in the Xbox store.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, and you know what? You wrote an article about it. I read it. I'm like, damn, okay, I gotta play a demo. And to this day, I didn't even know it was actually out. Oh man. All right. You have Street Fighter. Yep. And then the Dying Light expansion. XCOM 2 also comes out, and Nick mentioned that. I know there's some other games on this list that I kind of just like. I made like my top 8 list, and the other games didn't make it, but it might. Oh, Cobalt is coming out, which
That's what I said. Yeah.
Abby mentioned. Yeah, that's the. You know, I realized it took me a while because I didn't hear of Cobalt since like the E3, and I know that's the game from Mojang. This would be like their first game since Minecraft, so that's kind of got me a little bit interested now, only because I'm like, yes, because I hated Minecraft and I still do, and I was like. Finally, a studio Microsoft acquired is making a game that's not Minecraft. Okay.
We got some good things coming from Nintendo as well.
Oh yeah. Yep.
There's a new Pokemon out, so.
The Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow collection is coming out.
Yep.
Project X2. Then you got Fire Emblem Fates, Birthright, and Conquest coming out as well. And then the Mega Man Legacy collection drops for 3DS too.
Oh, okay.
It was quite good.
3DS is eating this year, man. I might actually pick up that Fire Emblem.
Oh, you got one?
My sister has one, but I just play it low key.
Yeah, you play it low key. Okay. All right. So other things we're gonna talk about. We got what? Homefront 2 beta. We got some news on that. Demi, what's up with this? Are you looking forward to it?
Homefront 2. I heard bad things about the first one. I heard nothing but bad things, but I am looking forward. I'm very optimistic they might actually learn from their mistakes and redo this and make it dope. I actually signed up for the beta. I will probably drop the link into it in the chat. All you got to do is make an account on their website, and then you pick the console that you want, Xbox One, PS4, PC, and then you're at it. I'm looking forward to it. It may be good. I hope the multiplayer is good. I really do. I hope that the story is way better than what they did last time. And I hope so, because there's nothing really coming out in May like that.
Okay, yeah, okay, Homefront, yeah. The thing is, I haven't played the first one. I heard of it. I did hear of it, but I've never really played it. The only bad thing I heard about it that it was short. That's all I heard of it. I mean, there's some, like, I know a cult following to Homefront, small fan base, but it was enough because people wanted it at Homefront too. But I'll definitely sign up for that beta. So if you got that link, you wrote about it in hardknotgamers.com, right? I think that's where.
I didn't get a chance to write about it, but I will toss the link up in the chat.
Okay. Okay, and for those watching, please check out our website, hardknotgamers.com. Last week it was down due to maintenance. We were going through a transition, but it's up and running, is live, and you can find all of our great content there. And there's an Xbox bundle coming out in Japan.
Yeah, apparently it's an Xbox bundle with Kinect and 3 games releasing in Japan. Now, we know about what happens to Microsoft in Japan. They're not really supported like that over there. I'm glad to see they aren't pulling out support, even though this may be ignored. But, hey, Microsoft is still trying to take chances and build over there. I got to give them props. It's not the best-selling console over there. It's blatantly ignored and doesn't sell too well, and it's not hot. But I have to give Microsoft, a round of applause for at least trying. That's the key word in this factor, is trying. It's not that big. It's not that great over there, but they're at least trying.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, me personally, if it was me, I'd be like, okay, I'm pulling out. I do not. I'd rather not attempt to sell in Japan than to be embarrassed in Japan. So, but yeah, they stuck through it ever since the original Xbox. They put out a new console. They continue to put it out, have these big launch events, and but I think the real reason for them to really continue to push their console and Japan is to to maintain that relationship that they got with the Japanese developers out there that they want to work with and that they want to work on their platform. So kudos to them. You know what I mean? Me personally, I couldn't do it. You got to be really rich to lose money in one territory. So not me. If I honestly though, if I win a lotto, I would buy everybody in Japan an Xbox One. So let's hope I get that 1.5 billion. So we can do that. So, but otherwise, is there any other thing that we miss? I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with the gaming.
Just only thing that we didn't talk about is just the Mortal Kombat X pack, which really isn't that too big. Leatherface, Alien, Triborg, and I forgot the other character.
Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't even want to think of his fatality. Like I don't even. That
It's cool. It looks cool. I'm personally sold on certain characters like Alien. He looks dope.
Oh yeah.
And Triborg is cool, which is they condensed all 3 robot characters from Mortal Kombat into one animated character. I think that's an awesome idea.
Yeah, that's true. I'm happy that they're still supporting Mortal Kombat with content, and cause it's about in April will be a year because that game came out last April, for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. That was a game I skipped out on. I'm not a big fan of Mortal Kombat for a simple reason. I'm sorry, their fatalities is just so freaking unnecessary, dude. Like, yeah, I would never have room to play it. Kids always all around me, so just like the shit that they do is freaking ridiculous. So, I mean, not saying it's a bad game. Me personally, during Mortal Kombat's like prime and stuff, even though I like some of Mortal Kombat's characters better than like Street Fighter. Street Fighter was a game I preferred over, I think, Mortal Kombat. And then as the years went on, I kind of went away from Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and looked towards like games like Dead or Alive and Killer Instinct and Virtual Fighter and Tekken and stuff like that. So, but I don't know, but fighting is not my strong suit. So just to give you guys a heads up, I've been playing Killer Instinct a lot, but still, fighting games aren't my strong suit. But speaking of games and whatnot, it's January 12th. It's January period. It's the new year. What game have you guys been playing this week since our last podcast?
I'm still addicted to the Ark. Sorry.
You like Ark?
I love Ark, but then I've already said to you I'm a big dinosaur thing. So as soon as I seen that, I was like, and I think I've literally not slept, gone to sleep before 3 o'clock in the morning, because of that game staying up and just I don't know. It's just one of those games. There's so much to do on it, and I love it. So yeah.
Okay, all right. What about you, Undead? What you been playing this? You did mention Shovel Knight, but what else? Is that the game you've been?
Shovel Knight and a little bit of Black Ops 3, but I just got Ark today, so I'm gonna see what that's about. And yeah, that's gonna be my next week. Except that I gotta fit in a Halo Legendary solo run this week, so gotta squeeze that into the schedule.
Yeah, I have to do it on co-op.
Yeah, because it's like merely impossible. But people have done it. I know people have done it. Demi.
Yes, sir. What I've been playing, I've been the backlog conqueror for this week, so I've been playing a lot of Type 0. I just finished up The Walking Dead Season 2 again. I've been playing a lot of Dead or Alive because my boys have got me into it, so I've been training up with them.
Mm-hmm.
And just about, I've been playing Monopoly as well. Just something to cool out with, have some fun. And then Later on tonight, I will be streaming Outlast, so people can catch that.
Nice, nice. I'm looking forward to that. I've been playing, of course, Star Wars Battlefront. I've been playing it on PlayStation because some of my coworkers they've gotten PlayStation 4s for Christmas, and um, I've been playing Battlefront with them, and I've been trying out the do I think I've had this personal vendetta against Capcom, so I've been ignoring all the Resident Evils they've been putting on the store, but they allow you to play like episode 1 of Revelations, and I enjoyed it. I almost want to buy the freaking the season or whatever. Like it's pretty good. I do like that. I've been playing that. I said Star Wars Battlefront, obviously. Halo is, you always go back and play that as multiplayer. Rise in the Rome I went back to. I went back to Rise in the Rome because I realized like there's the survival modes and these multiplayer modes. So I met up with one of my, I don't know if he's a subscriber of mine, but he was following me on Xbox, and he had just gotten Rise, and we wanted to do some of the multiplayer, and then there was just a lot of things haven't done on the multiplayer side, and I was like, you know what, okay, I could put a few more hours into it because 64 hours apparently wasn't enough, so I went back to Rise in the Rome, and I'll probably be playing it a little bit more throughout the week.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. Oh wow, 9:01 p.m. I'm sorry, King Dre. Shout out to King Dre. Catch his recap podcast, which is a sports podcast, on his channel like right about now. He generally goes live right after we finish up on King Dre's channel. Make sure you guys visit the website hardknotgamers.com. It's up. It's in the link in the description. And also, if you want to know the panel here a little bit more closely, you got DemiGodReviews. His link is in the description below. You got Nick, aka Undead. His YouTube channel is in the link below, and we have Abby. Her Twitter link is in the handle, and her Twitter handle is in the description below. So please click all those links. Follow the panel. It's some awesome people. Talk to them. They're not strangers. They're not going to ignore you. These are some awesome people. That's why they're on this podcast, because we're writers and we're in the writer's block. So you guys have anything else to say before we hit the stop button?
Sure, I'll go ahead and knock mine out first. Go subscribe, people. Check out the channel. It's greatly appreciated. While you're at it, I'm going to be streaming some Outlast tonight. So if you watch one of my videos and see my Twitch link in the description box below, go subscribe. Go follow it. It's going to be dope. We're going to have a great time. And yes, I know I'm taking my sweet time with the reviews, but they will be coming. Just stay tuned, guys. You're going to feel right at home once they do.
Undead?
All right. Wonderful time as always. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube. Got a montage that I've been editing for the past few days. I'm going to throw up on the channel tomorrow for the first video, and I'm going to start uploading steadily now that my work schedule's calmed down. So subscribe, follow my Twitter, and yeah, that's it for me.
Abby.
So yeah, like everyone said, I don't quite have YouTube set up and running, but after the first podcast, I decided I was going to. So please do follow me on Twitter and check me out on obviously the Hard Knot Gamers website. I hope to have the channel up soon. This will be like a sneak peek of my articles, reviews up and coming, as well as having, like I've said, my two best friends, ethical hacker and a games programmer. So that'll be looking at different tips and tricks on the PC, as well as looking at alphas and betas, mechanics, gameplay, of course. That'll be special guests every time, as well as some science hacks from me. So it's a very multi-purpose channel, so please do check out for that. Thank you.
And thank you guys all for watching. Also, check out my latest video. I unveiled the Xbox 2. No, it's just my gaming PC. But it is done. It's running. I'm having no problems. I was able to turn it on, and it turns on. It runs fine. It's not loud. It's not overheating. It's very well ventilated. And it runs very well. Don't worry, I'm still doing a giveaway, but the giveaway will happen soon. I might do it in episode 3 of the Writer Block podcast. It'll be next Tuesday, and you can join us. Fame wasn't here today. Fame's YouTube link is in the description below. He will be here next week for episode 3. I will make sure of it. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel, and also go to the website and register, because we give away stuff all the time, and we do giveaways and contests. We have great content, and definitely just check us out and follow us, and have our content first, you know. But that's all I gotta say. You know what I'm about to say if you don't want to hear it anyway. Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you are on the other side of the globe. We out. Much love.
No.